Felipe Cardozo here, bringing you the best tips and tools for growing your barbering, hairstyling, and grooming knowledge to a whole nother level. So, if you're new here, welcome my friend. Please subscribe, turn on the notification button so you don't miss a thing. With this haircut, I am doing a faux hawk with the fade on the sides. We're doing a 1 fade up to a 2, really textured faux hawk on the front and top of the hair. Kind of a transformation here because the client has a very long kind of comb over hair and we're transforming that into a faux hawk. So let's get into the video. To begin the haircut, I take my number 2 plastic guard on my wall Sterling 4 and I am setting a foundation, pretty much setting the structure for this haircut. Also setting my top guideline for the fade. We are doing a 1 fade to a 2. So setting my top guideline with the 2 plastic guard, going straight up in the air. I'm not following the head shape whatsoever. I am leaving a little bit of that shelf along the sides of the head. Moving forward, I take my plastic 1 guard on my walls and I start setting that bottom guideline. We are fading from 1 to a 2, so I am setting the guideline at about ears height, leaving it at about like a mid, almost like a mid fade. And then I take my 1.5 guard and I start blending that 1 to a 2. This is very simple. A 1.5 guard should be able to get rid of that line, but if it doesn't, you can just throw the plastic 1 guard and open the lever, which is equal to a 1.5 as well. It just cuts a little bit shorter. You can always close the lever gradually if you begin to have any trouble removing that line. Now we're going to just start fading that bottom hairline. We're just going to taper that out to the skin. So I set the bottom line with the closed blade, which is a 000, and then I open the blade and start blending that in. Soon after that, I take my Slimline Pro and I set the shape up along the sides, the perimeters of the hairlines. Very straightforward, very easy. And then we're off to the next part of the haircut, which is the midsection. This is where I like to use the scissor over comb technique. It really depends on the type of hair, the texture of the hair. If I use a clipper over comb or I use a scissor over comb. His hair is very fine and straight. It doesn't poke out as much, so I like to just use a scissor over comb. And now moving on to the third and final part of the haircut is the top of the hair. Now this is where most of the transformation is happening. I am cutting quite a bit of length here. So I'm gonna start from the back of the head and working my way forward, simply because that's how the client is going to be styling his hair. So it only makes sense for me to move from back to front and then side to side. Here I am taking very small sections at about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch. As you see there, I am point cutting just to set a little bit of texture. It doesn't really set that much texture on the angle that I am cutting at. Now what I like to do is I like to cut the hair to the length that I want, dry it, and then make all the adjustment that I need, because at the end of the day, you don't really know how the hair is going to sit when it's dry. Cut the hair when it's wet, dry it, and then make all the adjustments that you need to do, and then also add some texture. Alright, so as you see here, the hair is dry. It's cut to quote-unquote the proper length. Now I'm gonna make all the adjustments that I need. His hair is gonna be set in almost like a faux hawk. I didn't like the way the hair was bulking up on the right side, and so I am taking my texturizing shear here and removing a lot of that weight and also adding texture. This is where you kind of have to use your expertise and your own kind of knowledge and everything, because you have to play with it, you have to see how the hair sits, and as I go I'm making little adjustments here and there, pretty much just freehanding the whole thing. Once I think the hair is at a good place, I'll style the hair. I'll actually put a little bit of product to see how the hair is gonna sit and be styled. If I need to make any tweaks, any adjustments, I'll do that. That's the haircut, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next one. Peace!